Guys of a Certain Age is brought to you by no one. Absolutely no one. Except these dudes walking down memory lane. Now let's head to the studio to see what they misremember next.
And take two of this episode of Guys of a Certain Age. Robbie Koblenz in studio alongside
Jay Reed.
So we're sitting there having this scintillating conversation, and the power goes out again. So I guess we were trying to do the Amish version of Guys of a Certain Age.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, which would be like 2 tin cans with a long cord between them, a little rope, whatnot. See what happens when Art's not here?
I know it crashes. It crashes.
Yeah, everything crashes. So Robbie Koblenz alongside
Jay Reed again.
No Art Shirley. And what were we talking? All right, let's jump.
I guess we have to start.
We have to start completely over. Who knows what we said the first time?
Something about the weather and what we've been doing this weekend.
That's right. You've been in North Carolina. I've been in Hot Springs. We both were doing food type things. You hit Atlanta traffic at the wrong time. It took you 18 hours to get back, or something like that.
Not quite 18, but
so when you guys came back, how many times did you hit Buc-ee's?
Well, we didn't stop at Buc-ee's, actually.
Oh, you just reserved that for our special time.
There was one. Yeah, right. There was only one on this route. And
Leeds, Alabama.
In Leeds, Alabama. And there, Jacob and Lindsay, though, my son and daughter-in-law, they suggested we cut down from Raleigh to, like, Florence, South Carolina, and then cut across. It adds like 30 minutes, but you hit 2 Buc-ee's that way, and you go by south of the border.
Oh.
And I thought, okay, it won't add 30 minutes because I've got to stop at south of the border.
You've been to south of the border, right?
I've been by it. I'm not sure if I've ever stopped.
We stopped once. Yeah.
Well, the thing about it is I love Blenheim ginger ale, and the factory or something is there having to do with Blenheim. So that would be my main reason to stop, just aside from the gaudy, I don't mind the gaudy stuff. I think it's kind of fun.
Imagine that, Jay not minding gaudy things.
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, I just went to the North Carolina State Fair, which I'll tell you a little bit more about later, but that is, eating all the crazy stuff, that kind of goes in line with south of the border.
Yeah, I guess it would. Yeah, we've got friends who live in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and we'll go through South Carolina, and we'll go past south of the border, and we stopped once or something.
Yeah, it's not something you want to do all the time, but I haven't been, so I feel like I should go and check that off the bucket list.
Yeah, you probably should. So, all right, let's jump back into Geeks of the Week. So, you've got your whole conspiracy theory here.
Yeah, so I was talking about 2 different movies, both starring Ryan Reynolds, and he may have executive produced both of them for all I know. But if you look at let's look at Deadpool and Wolverine first, because that's the most recent one to come out. Ryan Reynolds plays Deadpool. Hugh Jackman plays Wolverine. Channing Tatum plays the Gambit. Chris Evans plays Johnny Storm.
Gambit, not
No, it's not the Gambit. Oh, I thought it was the Gambit.
No, it's Gambit.
Gambit. Okay.
Yeah.
So Channing Tatum plays Gambit. Chris Evans plays Johnny Storm, and Aaron Reed plays the Juggernaut. And you mentioned in our first try that several people have played Juggernaut.
Yes.
So then flashback to Ryan's other movie called Free Guy.
Yes.
Which was chock full of cameos as well. So Ryan Reynolds plays Guy. Hugh Jackman is also in it, though you wouldn't know it without reading the credits. He played a dude in a mask, masked player, according to the credits. Channing Tatum was in it, played a guy named Revenjamin Button. I'm guessing a Benjamin Button sort of riff. Chris Evans played himself, more or less. And then Aaron Reed played a guy named Dude. So you have limited names here. Player, guy, dude. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting, and this was on some Instagram account that I follow, just making comparison of all those 5 players or actors. But I was asking you earlier, what do you think Ryan Reynolds, hey, I've worked with all these guys before, let's put them all back in, or how much was Ryan Reynolds and how much was Marvel in bringing all this?
So the last time I tried to comment on this, the power went out. So I'm going to rephrase it a little differently. So, Ryan Reynolds has been the creative force behind Deadpool forever, right? And so he's an executive producer and has a lot of creative freedom. He was involved in the script, worked directly with the director. So I would say every one of those guys were in Deadpool and Wolverine because of Ryan Reynolds.
Because you want him.
Yeah. Of course, Channing Tatum has tried to get Gambit to the screen forever.
Right.
And so he kind of threw him a lifeline there and said, hey, why don't you come on? And apparently, I think we've talked about this before, but because of the success of Deadpool, Wolverine, and Gambit in that movie, there has been some movement on a Gambit standalone. And Ryan Reynolds has said, "Hey, dude, I'll help you.
Yeah.
You know, he'll pop in on that." So, but I would imagine, you know,
and
a lot of
Aaron
stuff.
Reed, who knows? I don't know what all he's done or.
Yeah, I don't either. But I mean,
cousin Aaron.
I would imagine that because they worked together before.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But anyway, there you go.
I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
Not really big news, but.
But I have big news from Deadpool Wolverine.
Okay.
So by the time you listen to this, it will probably be November 12th. We would have survived a presidential election, we hope. But joy comes in the morning and on the morning of December the 12th because Deadpool Wolverine hits Disney Plus.
December 12th or November 12th?
November 12th.
Okay.
What I said, you heard me wrong.
Well,
November
you said
12th.
Both, so
yeah, well,
I heard you right and wrong.
Yeah, whatever. November 12th, Deadpool Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine hits Disney Plus.
Okay. Well, I saw a sort of a trailer for all the different things coming to Disney Plus.
And that's what my geek is going to be.
Okay.
So,
I thought that was your geek.
well, this
That's
leads
the intro.
into
Go for it.
So as we record, it's Halloween Eve. And the two-part...
It's pretty much Halloween Eve. Tomorrow's Halloween.
Yeah. You're right. For the first time today.
Oh.
Ooh, boom, pin drop. The two-part finale of Agatha All
I
Along.
think you meant mic drop as you.
No, I was thinking
Okay.
pin drop. Agatha All Along premieres tonight, and so the pre-roll.
What's tonight?
The two-part finale premieres tonight.
Finale premieres.
Two-part finale.
Okay.
Yeah, premieres tonight. So it comes on tonight. It's released tonight, which means you can watch it tonight. So because
first you said Agatha All Along premieres tonight. And
I said the two-part
premieres earlier.
The two-part
That's not what you
finale
said, but go ahead.
is released tonight, and so this video that you're referencing was meant to be a pre-roll for the finale, but it got leaked a little bit early last night.
Okay.
And so in said preview, it was a sizzle reel for the Marvel properties and gave dates for premieres. And so I thought we could go through that.
Yes.
So What If Season 3, it's going to premiere December 22nd. So 3 days before Christmas. Did you watch What If on Disney Plus?
I watched the first season, but I never got around to watching the second one.
I never got around to the second
it.
season.
I enjoyed it.
I never got around to the second season either. So I wonder if I should go back and watch the second season.
I would like to, but it's one of those, as I've said many times, I've got so many other things that are more important than that. I don't know if I'll get to it.
You need to watch Disclaimer on Apple TV Plus.
We were talking about that. I started watching The Penguin, and I'm loving it.
Is it? Are you? I need to watch The Penguin. January 25th on Disney Plus is the premiere of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which is kind of a classic animated cartoon.
Okay, that's what it looked like.
Yeah. And then the thing I'm probably most excited about is going to be the finally released Daredevil Born Again series on March the 4th.
There was a little trailer of that specifically
Yeah.
in one of those. Yeah, that looked great.
And I love where you've got Wilson Fisk, Kingpin, and Daredevil, Matt Murdock saying, we meet again. And it's like it's been a long time since they met. So I'm really looking forward to that. That looks great.
I'm hoping I'll be able to watch that without having watched all 37 seasons of Daredevil.
There were only 3.
Well, it seemed like a lot.
Yeah. I imagine they're going to make it accessible. So you really need to watch the first season of Daredevil.
I think I've watched the first season. I don't think I've watched beyond that. So.
I watched season 2. I don't think I watched season 3. So Ironheart, June 24th. So this is the kind of spiritual successor to Iron Man. I can't remember the main character's name, young African-American female. She ends up in Wakanda. She's an inventor. She kind of picks up Iron Man's legacy, creating powered armor.
So she's not the one that became Black Panther.
No, that's Siri.
Okay. Is she in Black Panther?
She
looked familiar.
Yeah, she was in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. She was in that.
All right, but
movie.
then she. Okay, all right.
Eyes of Wakanda, which is an animated series. I think it's kind of an anthology. That's August 6th. Ironheart's going to be June 24th. Marvel Zombies next October.
Yeah, I was thrilled about that.
Yeah, and that was interesting.
It's going to be a Halloween release kind of thing.
Exactly. And there was a series, Marvel Zombies series, and they're just kind of riffing on that. Then the one that I'm kind of most intrigued, one of the ones I'm most intrigued by behind Daredevil is Wonder Man, which is December 2025.
See, I don't know anything about Wonder Man, and when I watched the trailer, I didn't get it.
So Wonder Man in the comic books was a movie star who had superpowers, and he was known to be a movie star.
Okay, well, that makes more sense.
And so he was a kind of flamboyant, a little over the top, and it has I can't remember the actor who's playing him. He played Dr. Manhattan in the Watchmen TV series. Fabulous actor. I cannot pronounce his name. It's a very ethnic name.
Yeah, he looked familiar, and I can.
He's going to be Wonder Man, but Ben Kingsley comes back as the Mandarin, as
Trevor.
Yeah. So, because you remember, Trevor was kind of washed up actor who they hired to play the Mandarin in, I guess that was Iron Man 3.
Okay.
And, and Trevor's just kind of popped up pieces, parts here, there, and yonder. Trevor was in Shang-Chi in the, no, not Shang-Chi, Shang-Chi in the 10 whatever rings, so which was a great movie. Really enjoyed that one, but he showed up in that as
himself,
as Trevor. So, because the Mandarin was had the 10 rings of power. Or
That's it,
whatever.
rings of power.
Yeah. So anyway,
I like the Trevor character. I love Ben Kingsley in that, so I think that'll be fun. And I don't know anything about Wonder Man, but I did notice. Okay, this guy's coming in. He's applying. Or reading for a part called Wonder Man, but this is a superhero. Okay, so that makes more sense.
So I think, well, anyway, I'm going to be real curious what the setup is. Wonder Man is one of those kind of second tier characters that's almost Superman-like in the Marvel universe. But it looks like a buddy cop film, right?
Okay,
buddy cop series.
Sure,
but that's what's coming to Disney Plus for not Apple TV, for Marvel TV. So
well, maybe I can get caught up during the holidays with all the stuff I'm behind on, and then
because you're going to be eating and cooking all the time.
Oh, that's possible.
That's not possible. It's probable. That's probable. So, but for me, out of that grouping, Wonder Man and Daredevil, Born Again are the two things I'm most excited about.
Yeah, I agree.
So probably need to get caught up on what if. Have you watched Agatha? You haven't watched Agatha at all?
No, I thought about trying to catch up on it some today since it's Halloween.
You haven't watched Agatha at all?
No, I have not.
So it's great. The eps are 30 to 40 minutes. They move fast. I have really, really enjoyed it. Okay. So it really is the sequel to WandaVision.
Okay, I kind of expected that.
Yeah, and it kind of sets up maybe the Young Avengers as well.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to tell you how.
Okay.
So, but you need to watch it fairly soon.
Yep.
So,
do you think it'll stay on after? Surely it'll still be there after Halloween, even though.
Oh yeah. I mean, Werewolf by Night is still there, and it dropped like 2 years ago.
That's right.
So
okay,
but should be fun. So, what's your Halloween costume going to be tomorrow, Jay? Are you going to go as a?
Actually, I did not.
Do you?
So I was going to go pretty easy. I've got this is my original plan, which I'm not doing now, but I have a T-shirt that has like the eyes and the mouth of it looks like the Kool-Aid Man, from back in the day.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah. So I was just going to wear the Kool-Aid Man T-shirt and be the Kool-Aid Man. But we were, believe it or not, in Cracker Barrel last night, just outside of Atlanta, and they had like a 70% off sale, and so we're looking around, and I found a Scooby-Doo, like a Hawaiian shirt kind of a fit with the Mystery Machine and all this all over the shirt. So I guess I don't know who I'm going as, but I'm going to wear my Scooby-Doo shirt. And be who it kind of looks like something I don't know. Does Shaggy wear a shirt like that? Shaggy wears a T-shirt. So maybe
Shaggy wears a green T-shirt.
Yeah. So this is kind of that same color scheme. It's got all the colors, but kind of a blue and the green and the orange. So I guess I'm just going as a Scooby-Doo fan. Who knows? But
you should show up at Luva because we're doing a Halloween costume contest. So.
Okay. Well, I don't think this would win anything.
Probably not. But you should come to Luva anyway.
See, I've got a Santa shirt. I got a Santa Hawaiian shirt. And I've got a Halloween Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. Fun.
So what are you going as?
Oh, nothing. Middle-aged white male. Disaffected, middle-aged grumpy old man. So that's But wait, that's what I go as every day.
Yeah, a guy of a certain age.
That's right. So
speaking of,
so we'll do this now.
Okay,
and then tell me about your shirt adventures.
Right. So I guess it was Christmas. Art gave us both a black T-shirt that has the Guys of a Certain Age logo on it, and I thought, well, this would be a neat little experiment. Is to wear it in a place where there's going to be a lot of people. That's not the hometown. So we were at the North Carolina State Fair, and I thought I'm going to wear my Guys of a Certain Age shirt and just see if I get any reaction. So first thing was we had the people who live around the fair basically mark off their yards with paint, and you pay to park there. So we parked in this really nice couple's yard, and the lady was like, what's your shirt say? So I told her, and she didn't know, of course, about us, but she was fascinated by the shirt. So then when we came back to leave, she looked at it again and she goes, so what's a podcast? And I was like, really? And she goes, yeah. I said, well, and I explained it to her, and her husband's standing there, and he's like, yeah, it's like, we described it. It's kind of like radio, but you can,
but not
on demand, a talk show. And he was kind of funny because he's like, you could have asked me. I knew what it was. But super sweet lady. And so we explained to her what it was and kind of that kind of thing. And she acted like, this is something that she enjoyed talking about. And her husband, I don't know what he does, but he said, it's kind of like what I put on YouTube. So I'm curious what he puts on YouTube.
You should have found out what his channel name was.
But so we've got, so that was the first interaction, the first and last. And then when we were walking around, this guy stops me and says, can I take a picture of your shirt? And I said, sure. He said, well, I'm getting into ham radio and I'm into all this nerd stuff. And so I think this would be right up my alley. So I'm like, okay, great. So and I saw him a couple of times later. I think, so if the guy wearing I think he's wearing a Durham Bulls jersey. If you're listening, thanks for coming.
Well, what about the lady that you parked in your yard?
I don't know. I hope she's here too, but and then the one person who actually did recognize it happened to be a friend of Jacob's that we ran into. Now, he had not listened, but he knew.
This is awesome.
He knew that Jacob had been a guest, and so he was very aware of the podcast. He just hasn't listened yet. But
that's not true.
Maybe this will be the one that he listens to. And I am a guy of a certain age, and I apologize, Jacob's friend, that I've forgotten your first name. But anyway,
that's awesome.
So there was some
three interactions.
Nobody who's actually listened, but maybe three who will.
Did they recognize your caricature on the shirt?
I pretty much pointed out. I was like, I'm this guy.
That's awesome.
But I had a hat on, so it looks a little bit different. So I was in incognito, but it was fun. I just thought we'll see what happens, and I'll probably do it again at some point. And
you should walk around town and see what happens.
That's true. I should.
Yeah.
Next festival or next 5K I run.
Yeah. You don't want to run a 5K in that shirt. It's cottony. So
that's what I run in usually.
Yeah, you get you some dry fit, man.
Oh, I got some. Yeah.
Run dry fit. Be like the cool kid.
Well, usually the race I'm running is the one in February, so I got layers for that.
Are you talking about the frostbite?
Frostbite.
That's in January.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, it's cold.
Yeah, usually.
Sometimes not.
Except when it's not. So, all right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a second. And we're back, Jay, in this newfound fame. I just made up a word, didn't I?
You did.
Would you be famedomless? No, that would be famous. But famedom, that's a pretty cool word. We should make a podcast called Famedom.
Famedom.
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to have to trademark that.
Get us the website.
Yeah, get the website. I'll do it on GoDaddy right now. So Jay, with his 3 new friends he made at the North Carolina State Fair. Hopefully you guys are still listening. But we're going to talk Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy because you dropped me a text in our WhatsApp channel, and you said, now, did you just read it, listen to it, or what was your interaction?
I listened to it, and what, my sort of history with this book is when I'm thinking, I don't know when it was written, but I remember like high school, I think, so that would have been early 80s,
yes,
if not before. A lot of my friends were reading it and talking about it, and I just never got around to doing anything about it. Just never read it. And so the other day I was on Libby, the library app, and I was trying to find something to listen to on the trip, and came across it. And I had listened to something else. Three Body Problem is what I listened to, and so I'd put a few more things on my on hold. And so right before the trip, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy popped up, and I had seen it as an option. Wasn't really looking for it. I guess it's kind of like these association things. I clicked on this to say you might like this, that sort of thing. So it popped up, and I read the description like that. That's not at all like I expected. And so I clicked it, and it came just a few days before we left. So, and it was only like a 6-hour audio book, and so which is kind of short, compared to some others I've listened to. So anyway, I thought it was terrific.
Who read it?
I had no idea. Let me see if I can find the guy's name. It was a British guy, and he did all the voices, and it was really, really well done. Let me see if I can get his name.
So Hitchhikers was initially published in 1979.
Okay.
Written by Douglas Adams, which I love Douglas Adams. He wrote a couple of serials for Doctor Who, for Tom Baker. He just a brilliant author. Hitchhikers was a popular thing when I was in middle school. Talented and Gifted Class, I think we read it there. My friends read it. I remember when the sequel, Restaurant at the End of the Universe, came out, and then the sequel to the sequel, So Long and Thanks for All the Fish.
So restaurant, okay, because that's the last line of the book, is we're going to go to the restaurant.
At the End of the Universe, yeah.
So Stephen Fry.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Is the guy that read it, and he was great.
He's hilarious.
I mean, that made the book.
Yeah.
I mean, the book was great anyway.
Did he have a very depressed voice for Marvin?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Marvin the Demented Robot. Zaphoid Beetlebox.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Arthur Dent.
Yeah. Zaphod
Beetlebox.
Beeblebrock. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
And then
Tryphon or Trillian? Trillian was a woman?
Yeah. But who was the friend who got him off?
Ford Prefect.
Ford Prefect, yeah. So Ford Prefect, who was visiting. Spoiler alert for a 40-year-old book, Right. And it's been adapted multiple times. It was made into a major motion picture in 2005. Martin Freeman was the lead, I believe, in it. Okay. And I think Martin Freeman was maybe Ford Prefect, if I remember correctly.
Well, I need to watch that then, since I'm fresh off reading.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. So
I think I would have enjoyed reading it, but
Marvin the Paranoid Robot, not Demented Robot.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I mean, it was. I would just recommend this as a book to listen to, and listen to this version of it because he did so well.
So this was the rereading of the book in 2005, which was the film tie-in, and so in the film, Stephen Fry is the voice of the guide.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Or the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So,
okay.
Yeah. Did you want to put a fish in your ear afterwards?
No, that did not.
So the premise of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is this guy by the name of Arthur Dent wakes up, and basically the Earth is scheduled to be destroyed to make way for an interstellar highway. And so you find out that the dolphins are sentient beings who are leaving, and they say, so long, thanks for all the fish. And give us the plot summary. You read it since.
Right, so it starts off, Arthur Dent is trying to save his own home, his literal house from being bulldozed to make way for a bypass.
Takes place in London.
Outside somewhere in England, yeah. and then the Vogons come and blow up Earth in order to basically to do the same thing. So Ford Prefect is from the planet Betelgeuse or something like that. It's close to that same name.
Yeah.
And he's been stuck on Earth for 15 years. He is a correspondent to update the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And that was one thing that I didn't expect. I didn't expect the Hitchhiker's Guide to be essentially a character in the book.
Yeah.
I thought that the book was the guide. This book was a guide. So that was interesting too. But yeah, so the Earth blows up. Ford Prefect saves Arthur Dent for some reason.
Because they hitchhike out. Because they're buddies. Right. They went to a pub to drink. And so they hitchhike out. You know?
And so he ends up on, I guess it was the Vogron ship they started off on?
No, I thought Zaphoid Beetlebrox picked them up.
That's later.
Okay.
They hitchhiked onto the first ship.
To the Vogons, yeah.
By way of the cooks, who were nice people, and then they were discovered, and they were shot out into space, and then Zaphod picks them up in the gold, Heart of Gold ship that he had stolen as the galactic president. But it was just so clever, the writing, bringing in cultural stuff and explaining things, and you end up at the end with the mice running the whole thing. and the Earth was actually a giant computer, and they were 5 minutes away from solving the problem before it blew up.
Yeah. So, they were trying to find the problem because they had the answer already.
They were trying to find the question to the answer. Yeah,
and what's the answer?
42.
42. It's the answer to life, the universe, and everything is 42. Just remember that, but we don't know what the question is.
Still don't know what the question is.
Yeah.
And Arthur Dent was about to get a lobotomy of sorts so they can finish their research, and then chaos ensues, and they zip out in the Heart of Gold. But I didn't realize I thought there was more books. I wasn't sure. Are the other books as well written?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I only read through Life, the Universe, and Everything. And then, let me see if I can get this.
So that's the question of what is the meaning of life, the universe, and everything else. That's right in there. Okay.
So let me see if I can find the other books. So there's Hitchhikers, Restaurant at the End of the Universe, Life, the Universe, and Everything's the third one. So Long and Thanks for All the Fish is the fourth one. It was and then Mostly Harmless was the fifth book in the increasingly wrongly named Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy trilogy. And then they published And Another Thing posthumously.
Okay. Posthumously.
Yeah.
Posthumously. After he passed.
After Douglas Adams passed. So it was published in 1979. BBC did an adaptation in 1982, a live action adaptation that was as cheesy as Doctor Who was, but it was great. So Zaphoid, his second head was like literally on his shoulder, and it looked ridiculous. But it was great. Ford Prefect, Arthur Dent, everybody was there. It was pretty faithful adaptations, I recall. But it really, Hitchhikers was one of those things that you were kind of an in kid if you read it, which explains why you didn't read it. And but it was smart science fiction that got picked up in the popular in popular culture.
Okay.
And
Zooey Deschanel was in the movie, and Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that.
Warwick Davis plays Marvin the robot. Crazy. Okay, yeah. It's on. You have to. It looks like I'm gonna have to rent it.
You need to rent it. Douglas Adams was just incredibly inventive. And
the way everything tied in.
Yes.
I was just amazed at how he would bring things back.
Yeah.
And when Arthur Dent goes in and meets Zaphod, what he thinks is going to be the first time, he's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We've met before. And then Tryphon or Trillian walks in and is like, Priscilla? Or whatever.
Yeah. Because didn't they date? Didn't Trillian and...
I think what happened, if I caught this right, at this party, he was talking to Trillian and thinking he was making some headway. She was pretty, she was smart, all these things, and he hadn't had good luck with women. So he's making some headway and talking to her, and then all of a sudden Zaphod comes in as Phil and says, "Is this guy boring you? Here, I'm from another planet. Let's go talk." So they go talk, and then that's the end of it, apparently. But then she actually does go to space with him, and she appears later in his life.
So, did Arthur Dent learn how to fly in Hitchhiker's Guide?
Not himself. I mean, he kind of no.
So the way you fly, according to Douglas Adams, is you throw yourself at the floor and miss.
Okay.
So Arthur Dent learns how to fly.
Familiar now.
Yeah. So he learns how to fly. Always take a towel with you.
Okay.
You know.
Oh yeah.
And then the catchphrase was "Don't panic."
Don't panic was like on the outside of the quote book or the computer that served as the book. And the other thing was Earth was listed as a harmless place.
Yes.
And it was going to be upgraded to mostly harmless.
Yes. Yeah.
And Arthur was not happy about the fact that there was that little written about it.
Yeah. Because you would just think it's Earth. It's the center of everything. It was. It's getting blown up for a hyperspace expressway. So
right. And the fact that we thought we were doing studies on the mice, really the mice were doing studies on us.
Yeah. It's so incredibly inventive when it came out. Let me see what does Wikipedia say about reception. So May the 25th is usually recognized as Towel Day.
Okay.
So, if you want to walk around with a towel on May the 25th.
And what does May 25th have to do? Is that the
I
day
have no
the Earth
idea.
blew up?
I have no idea.
I bet it is.
It just says it was started in 2001, 2 weeks after Adams' death.
Oh.
Yeah. So there are two asteroids that have been named. Asteroid 18610 is named Arthur Dent, and asteroid 25924 is Douglas Adams.
Okay.
So they've got asteroids named after them. And
I can imagine this. Is it Martin Freeman? Is that the guy's name?
I think it was Martin Freeman who played.
He would be great. Yeah, Martin Freeman. I can see him being great at Arthur Dent. It'd be perfect.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find out if there were. I'm trying to find out how popular it was. It sold out its initial run of 250,000 very, very quickly.
Who was
translated to more than 30 languages? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy has been ranked fourth on the BBC's The Big Read poll. So it's one of those books you should read.
Helen Mirren plays Deep Thought, the computer.
Oh yeah.
And Bill Nye, I'm going to say this, Slartibart Fast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. That's right.
Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
You need to rent it.
I may buy it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
So he originally wrote it as a radio serial.
I can see that.
And then ended up as a book. So
we would do well.
Yeah. So, but welcome to the group of people who have experienced Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I can't believe you haven't
40 years later.
Well, I can't believe you haven't watched it, or no.
See, I didn't watch it because I hadn't read it. I wouldn't have thought to watch it.
And it's a quick read too.
If it was 2005, I wasn't even in the country when it came out. So
well, that didn't stop you from pirating other things. I
pirated nothing.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
I enjoyed the piracy of others.
You enjoyed the piracy. Oh, that's what they all say. So
brought nothing back, I promise.
You brought nothing back. You left it on there. It's hard to believe you didn't bring anything back, knowing you.
Well, it was a struggle. But I'd heard too many stories about people having to pay $10,000 per copy
FBI warning.
FBI warning on it. Yeah, I'm
that's
like,
right.
no, I don't have that kind of money.
So, are you going to seek out Restaurant at the End of the Universe and listen to it? Yeah,
yeah. I mean, if it's not an audio, I'll get the book and read it.
Yeah, it's a quick read too. So it's just a lot of fun. I'm glad you were able to experience it. That was one of those books that you read in talented and gifted class, and because it was so creative and inventive and so different than sci-fi at that time. Mm-hmm. So.
Would you call it satire at all?
Yes, very much.
Okay,
yeah.
I got that vibe.
Because he poked fun at modern scientific advances at that point.
Everybody's excited about their digital watches.
Yeah.
It came up several times.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, the world was changing back then. So,
and that was the technology where digital watches were.
Oh,
the
yeah.
tech
You remember when you got a digital watch? Oh, yeah. Did you have a calculator watch?
I don't think I had a calculator, but I definitely had a Casio of some sort.
I had a calculator watch.
Had lots of buttons.
I was bad, man. I had a calculator watch. It was pretty awesome. So, and I had a wallet with Velcro.
Oh, definitely that.
Yeah. Everybody wanted a wallet with Velcro.
Like a nylon wallet.
That's right.
Some sort of logo on it. Yep.
Yeah. I probably still have one in a drawer somewhere.
I'm certain that I do.
Yeah. Well, Art's not here to revel in your discovery of Douglas Adams.
Wow. So we'll maybe I'll read the next book and we'll revisit.
We should probably revisit. I need to. I think I've got, is it the Libby app? What's the name of the app?
Libby, yeah.
Yeah. And basically, if you have a library card, which is free at your local library, and they're enrolled in this service, you can check out books or listen to audiobooks for free, like you're getting them from the library.
Right. And the catch for me is this one was easy because I was on the road, and even a 6-hour book I could have, but it's you only get them for 2 weeks, just like a regular library book. So if somebody's waiting for it, you got to turn it back in.
Yeah.
And so when you get one of these 14 to 20-hour books, and then I listen on my commute, and that's
45 minutes a day total, right?
It's an hour total going and coming. It can, but I often am scrambling at the end to try to get it.
Oh yeah.
If I'm not able to renew it, so that's the only hitch. But I've been able to manage so far, and I've listened to several books that I probably wouldn't have.
Well,
otherwise.
we should talk 3-body problem next episode.
Yeah, we'll get back to that.
I need to watch
a little bit more.
The next Artless episode, we need to talk 3-body problem.
All right, then.
So, all right, we'll see you next time around.